spot up close? No. Okay. The factors entering the situations were varied as far as often as possible. Control was not, of course, exacting as required by laboratory experimentation, but it was as rigid as humanly possible in human situations. Quality, condition of clothing, appearance of baggage, quality and condition of clothing, appearance of baggage by which seems hotel clerks are prone to base their quick cleanliness and neatness were far more significant for person-to-person reaction in the situation than studying the skin pigmentation, straight black hair, slanting eyes, and flat nose. And yet, an air of self-confidence might entirely offset the unfavorable impression made by dusty clothes as the usual disorder to appearance consequent upon some 100 miles of motor travel. Is that your burner laptop? No, I don't have a burner laptop. I'm just using this laptop because that laptop, or this laptop, does not want to open my Sunlearn for some reason. Hi Candy, quick game, pick a number between 1 and 5, don't tell me your answer until I say so. No. Oh my days. Sorry, the ad with me in it just came out like an hour ago. And I watched someone's story. I needed to check something. But I watched someone's story and I had a fright to see myself, essentially. But I quickly need to respond to something. Why is my Wi-Fi so damn slow? Okay. Yet the existence of this prejudice, very intense, is proven by conventional attitude study to provide the comparison of symbolic reaction to symbolic social situations with actual reaction to real social situations. I questionnared the establishments which we patronized during the year or two period. 6 months were permitted to lapse between the time I obtained the overt reaction and the symbolic. The questionnaires are all asked the same question: will you accept the members of the Chinese race as guests in your establishment? 2 types of questionnaires were used. In response to the relevant question, 92% of the former and 91% of the latter said no. What? Am I living under a rock? Am I living somewhere where no one else is living? Or is that odd? Because to me, that's odd. To me, that's very odd. Strange, strange, strange. In response, 9% of the former, 91% that I said no. The remainder implied uncertain, depend upon circumstances. What? From the woman proprietor of a small auto camp, I received the only yes. Only one said yes, accompanied by a chatty letter describing the nice visit she had with a Chinese gentleman and his sweet wife during the previous summer. Oh, this is in COVID. I mean, it ain't better, but like still. Only one said yes. Yes, only one said yes. Rather unflattering interpretation might be put upon the fact that those establishments who had proved for all. It is impossible to make direct compensation between the reactions secured through questionnaires and from actual experience On this basis, that over the data, it would appear foolhardy for Chinese to attempt to travel in the United States. And yet, as I've shown, actual experience indicates that American people, as represented by personnel of hotels, restaurants, etc., are not all averse to fraternizing with Chinese within limitations with which apply social relationships between Americans and themselves. Where's my pen? Where did I... Oh. Okay, the conventional questionnaire. The conventional questionnaire undoubtedly has significantly value measured political attitudes, but political attitude is exactly what the questionnaire can be justly held to measure: a verbal response to a symbolic situation. Few citizens are ever faced with the necessity adjusting themselves to the presence of political leaders whom periodically they must vote for, or the questionnaire is probably our only means to determining religious attitudes. The honest answer to the question, do you believe in God, reveals all there is to be measured. God is a symbol, a belief, a verbal expression. So here too, the questionnaire is efficacious. Findings, especially in this true with regard with the president and his relation to political attitudes towards presidential candidates, that we have our base evidence. But while the questionnaire may indicate that the voter will do what he do when he goes to vote, it does not and cannot reveal what he will do when he meets candidate Jones on the streets, his office or his club, and the golf course, or wherever to responsiveness a person to be spoken or written word God, some other method of investigation must be used. And if we know the extent to which the responsiveness remains its behavior, it is his behavior that we must look, not to his questionnaire response. Ethical precepts are, I judge, something more than verbal professions. Okay. There would seem to be little to be gained from asking a man if his religious faith prevents him from committing sin. Of course, it does on paper, but immoral attitudes must have a significance in the adjustment of actual situations, or they are not worth the studying. Analysis of the data. You're not embracing your bangs, girl. Not while I'm studying, because they're in my face. I'm trying to read better. Okay. No doubt a considerable part of data which social scientists deals with can be obtained by a questionnaire method. The census reports are based upon verbal questionnaires, and I do not doubt their basic integrity. If we wish to know how many children a man has, his income, his size of his home, his age, and his condition of his parents, we can responsibly ask him. These things have frequently and conventionally covered in verbal responses. He is competent to report upon them. He will do so accurately unless indeed he wishes to do otherwise. A careful investigator would no doubt even find out the verbal means whether a man fights with his wife, frequently, infrequently, or not at all, though the neighbors would be a more reliable source. That's a really good quote. I'm sorry, bars. Conclusion, the only verbal reaction to an entirely symbolic situation. No. Can be secured by questionnaire. It may indicate what the respondent would actually do if confronted with the situation symbolized in the question, but here is no assurance that they will. And so to call the response only a verbal reaction to an entirely symbolic situation can be secured by the questionnaire. It may indicate what the respondent would actually do when confronted with the situation symbolized in the question, but there is no assurance with that at all. The questionnaire is cheap, easy, and mechanical. The study of the human behavior is time-consuming, intellectually fatiguing, and depends on its success upon the ability of the investigator. The former method of gives qualitative results. I got bit on my ribcage as well. I'm being eaten alive by these mosquitoes. See more shrewd guess regarding what essential accurately measure which prove irrelevant. Web page 30. second set of cards is exposed. Again, the group is anonymous. The members must read aloud. Huh? No. I thought we were at page 30. We're at 28. Psychology. Okay, we're doing Ash now. Ash. Rebirth of social psychopathology. I really need to get like a little hair clip or something. The experiment. I'm not going to read everything before the experiment. I'm just going to read the criticisms. We should be skeptical over Ash's criticisms. Who do you go for in the state of origin? Huh? I don't. Ray. Okay. Criticisms. We should be skeptical, however, of the supposition of the power of social pressure implies uncritical submission, dependence, and capacity to rise above group pessimism, are also open to human beings. So, skeptical of peer pressure. Then, further, they may question the psychological grounds for whether it's possible, as the rules have changed a person's judgment of a situation or an object without first changing his knowledge or assumptions about it. So is it possible to change a person's judgment a situation or object without first changing knowledge? Okay, that makes sense. Sorry guys, at this point my